Hello, I'm a little bit late today, like a few seconds. My apologies for that. How is everyone doing? Today is very warm. It's the first day of summer in London, I reckon. It was like 28 degrees, I think. Today is Friday, the 22nd of May, and it's 2 minutes past 6 p.m. UK time. And so this is live. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people today. I'm going to do my best to not stress out, just chill and be patient. But if it's really quiet for too long, I understand that. Maybe probably because people are outside enjoying the sun, the weather. And so I may go and join them. But we're not there yet. I'm here for now. I'm showing up, and hopefully some of you will interact with me. Will take the opportunity of me being here to ask me some questions. Put my earplug on. And so, what am I going to talk about today? First and foremost, for those who don't know me yet, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here on my free time to give advice to people, recommendations, suggestions about mental health therapy, um, psychology, anything that could enhance the quality of life from those places. And so, if you have any questions at all, just ask me. That's what I'm here for. But in the meantime, I may just talk about some of the things that I have in head, some things that I've been thinking about. And let's have introduction straight away. Genji. Hello, Didi. How are you doing today? I'm very well. I've been busy. I had some work. I had a little opportunity to go out just for half an hour, but still, I did enjoy half an hour of sun, of summer, of happy, good vibes. So that was nice. And I'm here now, and that's it. After that, I'll probably go out again, go to the gym, do those sort of things. Um, how about you? How have you been doing since last week? Since Wednesday, not last week. I don't even remember what day it is. Um, for those who've been following me, I need to change the format of the things I do. You're going to find out that probably from next week, my um, short form videos will be slightly different. I've decided to no longer post 3 posts a day. I'm trying to keep up with that number every week, and it's just silly. I've done it for way too long. I don't have to do this anymore. What I want to do is to just post 1 post a day, but do it better. So essentially, spend more time going in more depth about whatever subject. Um, it doesn't have to be minutes long, but still putting more effort into each video as opposed to trying to just hit the quota of 3 a day. And also the good news about this is that it allows me to really emphasize and focus on the things that I really want to talk about, as opposed to try to talk about everything, anything at all. So basically, I'm redirecting things from my perspective now instead of doing things for others, because I too, just like everyone else, I'm working on myself. And so I need to realize that I have been, I was talking about it briefly, I think, last time. I have been still masking somehow on social media. I'm working on unmasking in real life, and I realized that I have to do it on social media as well. So when I go on live streams, I don't do it. But when I do the content, when I record videos, I still learn things by heart. I still see myself like people would see me from the other side of the camera. And I don't think I should be doing this anymore. It's really about me doing things from my perspective so that people can really see my whole true self and then decide if they connect with that vibe or not. There's some comments. Let me read them. Genji, seems I'm the first here. I'm glad you got some happy sun time. Half an hour. But I need to make sure because I'm still also learning how to go out again more frequently. And because of my sleeping problems, sometimes I go through phases where I only go out at night. And I know that for my brain health, for my eyes health, it's important to expose yourself to daylight or even sunshine at least 20 minutes a day. So that's what I do. That's what motivated me to go out, even if it was just for half an hour today, just for the sun. Um, hi go, hi dear. How are you? Happy to see you. Thank you. Hi go. I'm very well indeed. How about you? Genji, I enjoyed my morning walk this morning. The air is slightly chilly with the wind, and all of the birds are out and singing. Fantastic. I really tried to soak in the beautiful green trees and fresh air. Lovely. So, for the fact that you are mentioning all those details, tells me that you are there, you're present, you're mindful. You can remember some things instead of just saying, I was out and then I came back. You can give me some details. And this is what matters. We want to really invest in just being and enjoying ourselves without having to feel guilty because we're not being productive or because we're not doing the things, some of the things that we think we should be doing. And again, it's also something that I need to remind myself doing when I go to the park. Very often I go there and I have a mission. I have something that I want to do. I'm going to walk, I'm going to take some sun, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to think about new ideas, I'm going to rehearse my script. Um, but then I forget, and this is something that I need to remind myself consciously that sometimes I'm just there and I don't have to do anything. If I choose just to be, just to exist, just to be present, it's actually something very productive, very important we should all be doing. So do like me. Go there. You may have something that you want to do, but sometimes every now and then remind yourself, I don't have to do anything. Maybe I can do this, or maybe if I don't feel like it, I can just chill, I can just be without having to justify my existence, without having to justify me doing anything at all. I was thinking about it yesterday or this morning. Very often we talk about the meaning of life. And what people don't realize is that we don't have to have a meaning of life. And it's not negative. It's not void of emotions or humanity. Just being is enough. Think about animals. Animals, they don't plan their career. They take it one moment at a time. They have some instinct. They react to things. But we should be more like them. And it's the same thing with plants. Plants, they don't care. They just react to the sun or the rain or whatever. And it goes for everything in the universe except for us. We have to think about things. We have to have an agency. We have to have an understanding. We have to have some sort of control. We need to have some map of the world. And in reality, there's a time and a place for everything. It's useful to understand things and to explore things and to grow and to be curious, of course. But we don't want to be obsessed with that all the time, as I've been myself lately. I can be obsessed very much, and it's part of how I've been functioning for a long time. And now I'm learning to remind myself every now and then that it's also okay, and it's not only okay; it's also very important sometimes to just be, to just exist, to stop trying to justify ourselves, to 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 validate our worth through some actions. So, something for you guys. Um, hi go. Thank you for your presence always. Thank you so much for appreciating it. Genji, oh, are you more of an night or owl? It depends. I go through phase. I can be, uh, and lately I've been correcting it. But not long ago, I've been through a phase where I was going to bed very, very late and waking up very late. But there are other phases where, like now, I am programming myself to wake up early, go to bed early, and wake up early. And the reason why it's so easy for me to get trapped at night is because of my ADHD. I enjoy nighttime. At night, I can think. At night, I feel safe. At night, there's um, no one or nothing disrupting my trains of thoughts. And so I can really, really come up with stuff. I get engrossed into my own thoughts and I can go from midnight to 6 a.m. just like that without realizing what happened. Um, and, 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 and the reason I can do this also is because lately I didn't have any clients early in the day. So that allowed me to indulge, to self indulge. But when I have clients that are earlier in the day, that kind of forces me to uh, to shift from night owl to daytime person, and this is what I'm doing now. Not just because of my clients, but also because I want to enjoy summer. I want to enjoy day, sun, warmth. I mean, there's still a lot of warmth at night in the city. and it's a different type of warmth. But I want to enjoy the day. And so because of that, I know how to do this. I can program myself when it's needed, and I'm doing it now. But if I don't do it consciously, deliberately, intentionally, then I will not normally naturally shift into a night owl. Owl. Is that how we say this? Night owl. Just bear with me, please. I need to double check this. Pronunciation, okay.
Owl. Owl.
Owl. So that's right, I think. So yes, I can be a night owl. Genji, and yes, I was honestly enjoying myself out today. When the weather is hot, I'm miserable, but with the chilly air, I feel like I could be out there forever. Okay, so this is the thing: is what we sometimes forget is that it's not the warmth or the chilly air; it's both. Everything about our life is about contrast. If it's always suffocatingly hot, we can't enjoy it. If it's always windy and chilly, we can't enjoy it either. It is the contrast of both that makes things interesting. And it's a very formidable, simple, universal parable for life. Everything about our life is down to contrast. We need both sides of everything in order to appreciate the value of our whole human experience. In other words, in order to appreciate the good things in life, we must have experienced some bad things. It doesn't mean that we have to choose to go back there deliberately. We don't have to. There are enough bad stuff for us to experience throughout our life to know what they are. However, once we know what they are, it's only then that we can really make the most of the things that we appreciate in our life. And the example that I often give is that it's only when we have been sick for the first time that we realize how good it is to be healthy. Until that happens, we take our health for granted. And it goes the same with love, with happiness, purpose, anything at all, success. Dawn Woodland, hi Didi. Hello, Dawn. How are you doing today? Genji, I'm trying to work on focusing on the present. I am constantly thinking of the past or the future, or even if there's a future to look forward to. Okay, so do your best to bring yourself back into the moment and be kind to yourself because I know how you are. You're going to tell yourself, I'm not present. Oh, it's rubbish. I'm rubbish. There's something wrong about me. Instead, tell yourself, the process is not for you to be present. The process is for you to do your best to come back to that present moment. Your job is the coming back. It's not the arrival. It's not the outcome. It's not the destination. It's not the target. It's not the goal. It is the doing. If you focus on the doing, you can never be unkind to yourself. You can never tell yourself, I'm still thinking about the future. What's wrong with me? Instead, tell yourself, remind yourself gently, kindly, with compassion. My job is to just do my best to come back. And that's good enough. And I will be all over the place because it's part of the whole process. And so just remind yourself to come back and do it one moment at a time. And over time, it will become easier for you just to be at peace with that. And then you can move on to the next thing. There are a lot of different macro level when it comes to starting a new habit. And being mindful is probably one of the hardest skills to develop because no one has taught us that. And the way we've been programmed in childhood was to constantly go back and forth in the past and the future. And so it's a big task. It's a big skill to learn. However, it's possible to learn just like any other skill. But for you to really make your life easier, do it with kindness and compassion. Everything is a skill. Everything takes time. Just break it down in baby steps, and things will be all right eventually. Why can't we appreciate the good things without the bad? Why can't we all just be happy without sadness? Because everything is relative. If you don't have sadness, you don't know what happy is. If someone is happy all the time, they never suffer. They get bored. It's hell. They don't know what it is. It is the contrast. When you suffer and then you get better, you're thinking, now it's better. So now I know what is good and what is not good. It's very simple. Nothing exists without its counterpart. For the light to exist, there needs to be darkness, and vice versa. For sound to exist, there needs to be silence. For and it goes the same with everything, any experience, any feelings, any emotions, any kind of people in the world. We all exist for a reason because we are all part of a bigger picture. And so, if you didn't suffer, you would suffer from the absence of contrast. The worst thing that we can have as a human being, and I know that's going to be controversial, but from my perspective, since we are here to experience a human experience, the worst thing that we can suffer from is a lack of empathy, a lack of emotions, a lack of feelings. If we can't feel, then we're missing out on the most crucial, the most fundamental, the most vital part of our human experience. That's because we are 95% emotions and feelings. If you think about it, if you take away all the emotions, all the feelings, what are you left with? A concept, a narrative, an idea. You can't feel it. So it's very, very unidimensional, and uh, it's like, I don't know if you read stories about ghosts, for instance, but ghost stories or movies, they will tell you that when you're a spirit, when you're a ghost, you can't feel anything. Or when you're an angel, you can't feel anything. But if you can experience life here, this is what they want the most, the feeling. Um, there was a movie from Wim Wenders, I think from 1986, called The Wings of Desire. And it's a very old movie, 1986, I mean, very old. I was 16, I think. Not old for me, but it's an old movie for 2026. And it's about angels who come into this life. And there's one angel who falls in love with an acrobat. So he decides to get rid of his wings and his suit of armor in order to become human again. Um, and it's played by Peter Falk, the guy who does Columbo, for the people who are other folks who are my age. Um, and then the first thing that he does when he becomes human again is to feel the cold. So that in Berlin, I think it's winter, and it's cold, and he's enjoying that moment, not because it's cold, but because he's doing this. Because of the cold, he can appreciate the warmth in his hand when he's blowing it. You need the contrast to appreciate anything. And so, yeah, at this point in time, it doesn't make sense to you because you're overwhelmed by your suffering. But when and if you can come out of it, it will all make sense. When I changed myself in 2009, because I've been suffering my whole life for 39 years, suddenly I was super happy, super joyful. I was on a cloud every single day, every single night, all throughout the day. I was high on life. I was annoyingly happy and positive and optimistic. Nothing could touch me. And that lasted 12 years, 15 years, I don't know. I'd never do the math. 2009, 2009, 2019, 2000. I think that lasted 12 years. 12 years of unlimited happiness and happy all the time, like genuinely, because I've been suffering so long, so much for so many years. However, after 12 years, things started to shift. The pandemic happened, and that a lot of things happened again also in my life. And I was reminded of what it feels to be anxious. I was reminded how to feel depressed, to be angry, to feel despair, helplessness. It all came back to me, not in one go, in tiny little bits. And it's a good thing because it's reminding me what it is to be a human being. We all go through contrast, and everything is relative to something else. And so, because I suffered for a long time, when I get better, I was super happy. But then after a while, I have to experience the whole full spectrum of human experiences and emotions again. Otherwise, I'm missing out on something. If I'm always happy from the perspective of a therapist, I can't give much to people because I have forgotten what it was to suffer. How can I help them? Um, but so everything exists for a reason. Everything uh, for us together in some big plans that we may not be aware of. But if you suffer, there's a reason for that. And at this point in time, you may get angry if you hear that because you don't know why yet. And when you and if you get better, it will all make sense, and you will really feel you will come back to me and have a conversation with me and tell me you're right. That's really amazing. I'm so glad I suffered all those years because I am now high for the next 10 years. And then after that, just like me, probably you will still have some other things to deal with because we are very intricate. We're not unidimensional. So there's a lot of part of us, a lot of aspects of our lives that we have yet explored. And then we have the rest of our life to do this. Um, does it make sense, Genji? Genji, you read me like a book. Yes, I need to remind myself to be patient and kind towards myself. Yes, Genji, you are saying that balance is important so we can appreciate what we otherwise wouldn't. Important, you mean? Balance is important. It's not that it's balance. It's exploring what is in order to know where you are. If you don't explore different things, you don't know much about the world. It is by exploring different feelings, different emotional states, different sensations, different type of thoughts that you will explore, that you will expand your understanding of yourself, your understanding of the world, your understanding of life. And so we need to stop thinking in black or white. And I know that it's difficult for you because you have BPD. So you're literally thinking black and white. But this is maybe something that we can talk about today. Instead of thinking in this or that, black or white, accept that black and white, they exist together. And there's a lot of grays and a lot of colors and a lot of nuances. There's so much more than just black or white. And so it's not about the balance of two things. Think about an ecosystem. It's a lot of things. It's multidimensional. It's all happening at the same time, and it all makes sense. It's all coherent. If we can look at the bigger picture, and as long as we believe that it's this or that, right or wrong, black or white, true or false, good or bad, now we get to limit ourselves to a unidimensional, non-binary, fake, limited version of reality, and also limited version of ourselves. Um, Don Woodland, I have had narcissists in my life. They can really affect your mental health. Yes, we can, absolutely. Um, so the way narcissists affect people is because they need to use people to feel better about themselves. But we need to realize that if they affect you, it's because you allow them into your life. A lot of people, as soon as they see someone that is coming across like a narcissist, they say, no, F off, stay where you are. But some people like you, and maybe me in the past, you open a door. You say, come in, let me help you, let me soothe you, let me fix you, or something like that. That person is different, they're not the same, I'm going to help them change. And so we suffer because of our invitation to them. There's a part of us that found them amazing, special, different, fascinating. And this is what we want to address. There will always be people who are going through all sorts of different stages in their journey. And, and the problem is not that there are people like that in life, in the world. The problem is that we allow them into our lives. So if you want to stop suffering from narcissism, you want to address the reasons as to why there's still parts of you that are inviting them into your life. The moment you realize that you always had the power is the moment you stop thinking about them, you stop caring about them. When you see them, because you're just going to say, stay away from my life, bye bye. And you just carry on happily, no problem. But if you still think about it, it's because there's still part of you that is hurt. There's still a part of you that doesn't know how to deal with them. So it's protecting you by hating on them. And it's very common. A lot of people hate narcissists. And I understand why. Narcissists can be very cruel. I suffer from them myself. But if we can, number one, realize that the power is within us, so we don't have to suffer over them. We can work on it. It takes time. It's a skill. It's possible to no longer allow narcissists in our lives. It's absolutely possible. And number two, we want also to realize that if they are narcissists, it's because they suffer. They suffer as well. I was talking about it earlier on this very live stream, how for me, people who suffer the most in this life are people with no feelings, people with no emotion, people with no empathy. They may hurt others because they're bored, they don't know what to do, because if they are psychos or sociopaths, if they're narcissists, they do this because they see themselves as so nothing, but they really need to do anything in their power to persuade themselves that they are special, that they are worthy. And they do this by using others. But they don't choose that. They don't choose that. We don't choose that. They suffer from that. They've been traumatized. They had an upbringing that got them to end up like that. But they suffer from that. We come into this life to feel, to connect, to love and be loved, to give, to take, to exchange, to create, to do things together. When we're a narcissist, when we're a sociopath, when we have antisocial personality disorder, we can't do any of those things. So we're going to end up doing other things that will probably hurt people. But those people, they suffer an awful lot. They're living their own hell. Um, but yes, to go back to your comment, Dawn, it's true that narcissist people can be very harmful, and we must find a way to address all of our own wounds so that we stop allowing them into our lives. Genji, I get into a rut where I think I'm just complaining for nothing. Then others, when I really think about it, I'm just surprised I'm here at all. Okay, I'm not sure what to make of it. Sometimes you complain for nothing, and other times you're surprised that you're here. All right, let's go down. Maybe there's been more so that I can understand why you're saying this. Genji, yes, everything you said makes sense. Humans are complicated, and I feel like I am an abstract painting. Also, yes, once again, autocorrect is against me. It's all right. It's not against you. So again, the word is not against you. It's not against you. It's not there for you. Autocorrect is not trying to hurt you, right? It's just happening. You happen to be there. It's very important to. Again, when we have BPD, we tell. You probably didn't mean it seriously, but still, you said it, and everything that we say come from inside out. And so we tend to believe that things are happening against us, to us, on purpose. I used to believe that all the time. I would be angry at everything and anything and everyone and anyone all the time. I used to believe that the whole world was trying to be at me, against me. Uh, why did that cup of coffee spilled on the table? Ah, bloody coffee! I would be angry at the coffee, or whatever. It would be endless. I would to really believe that I was constantly attacked and had to defend and react and protect. And so, the autocorrect is not against you. Change this. The autocorrect is just a robot doing its stuff, and it happens to be like that. And I know that you don't mean that, but if you can realize that there's some element of truth behind this, then you can start to apply this on the easy things. The autocorrect is not against me. The autocorrect is just a robot. But then eventually, if you can do this to other aspects of your life, my husband, when he talks to me, he's not trying to hurt my feelings. It's not because he's not considerate. It's not because he doesn't care about me. It is because he's got autism, he's clumsy, and he still loves me, and it's okay. This is how we do things. If you can have an awareness that the way you think something is the way you think everything, then you can use the simple things to try to change your perspective of that thing. And if you can implement it in the easy stuff, eventually you may be able to bring it into the more challenging ones. Genji, it feels like I am constantly trying to make sense of things that can't be understood, at least not yet. Yes, let go of this. You don't need to understand everything. You can only understand what you are ready to understand at that point in time. You can only meet understanding at your level of understanding. And so, and so we don't need to control and understand everything. We want to grow, we want to expand, we want to be curious, absolutely. But we don't have to control everything. And so accept, be humble that there are things that you know, something that you don't know, and it's okay. Focus on the things that matter to you, and allow for the information to keep coming day after day for the rest of your life. And the things that really matter to you, you will know more about. And there are the stuff that you don't need to know about. This is one of the things that a lot of people suffer from. A lot of people need to understand everything, and it's a form of obsession. You need to control things. You need to understand. It needs to make sense. It's got to be right. It can't be wrong. And it's a problem for many people. Dawn, you are right, Didi, about that. Tell them to buy, but when you first meet them, they can be so charming and will you in. Yes, but it's okay. They can will you in, but this is the process. You need to learn how to be better at this. And so they may will you in, they may charm you, they may seduce you. But then, as soon as you realize, it's happening again, tell yourself, okay, what do I do now? Now that I realize that it was a mask, that that person is another a-hole trying to take advantage of me, simple boundaries, just like that. Just like when I deal with some trolls on my live streams, like I did last time. It's very easy. It's exactly how we do it. And so, yeah. Soraya Sunray. Good evening, Didi, everyone. Hello, Soraya. Genji, you're right. I shouldn't blame a system that is made for everyone, but many people complain about. Yeah. A lot of people complain. And because everyone complains, we end up complaining as well. But because everyone complains doesn't mean that we have to complain. Because everyone does something, it doesn't mean that we have to do that thing too. All vastly different. And if anything, we want to question why we're doing what we're doing instead of just following the crowd. A lot of people get stressed out because everyone gets stressed out. A lot of people are angry because everyone is angry. But then it's true that there are reasons to be angry. However, for many of us, do we need to get angry all day long, every day, non-stop? No. For the vast majority of us, we don't have to. We may read the news, we may come across some information that gets us a bit angry, and it's normal. But then the next moment we can be reminded that my life is not all about that. This is one information, it sucks, I hate this. However, now that I've processed that information, then I can move on from it. I can enjoy and appreciate all the other stuff in my life that are nice, that are good, that are satisfying. Dawn, narcs also tend to hoard and take over living space if you live with them and they never clean up. Okay. Yes, it may be the case. I mean, it depends. Some narcissists are very clean, are very, very methodical. I think it's your experience. Um, I think some of them, it's true, but some of them may take advantage of others by being very messy. But I know many narcissists who are also super methodical, super organized, like military organized. And so I think there are also people. I'm not sure that the mess and the cleaning up is to do with narcissism. But I understand why you would say that. I can understand how, if someone is narcissist and is messy at the same time, then they would be annoying you because of that. They will use the power of gaslighting to make you feel that it's your fault or something like that. Genji, oh, interesting. I somehow didn't notice that if my default mindset is negative, that will apply towards everything. Yes, the way we function, for one thing, is the way we function with everything. The brain is very economic. The brain is very economical. And so yeah, if we tend to be generally more positive and optimistic, that will transpire in all of our habits, in all of our filters, in the way we process a lot of things. But if we tend to be generally more negative, pessimistic, angry, or reactive, that also will transpire in most aspects of our life. Of course, there are exceptions, but at the general level, the brain is very efficient, so it has to be economical. And for those of us who are struggling with life, who have still a lot of things, baggage to deal with, it's even more pronounced. How it's going to affect not only our actions or behavior, but also the very way we see the world, the way we interpret things, the meaning we give to things is going to be absolutely tarnished by our bias, our subconscious bias. Connor Jeffrey said hi. Hello. Dawn, when you and hubby have issues, how do you both deal with it? If you don't mind me asking. It depends. What sort of issues? There are tons of different issues that can be mentioned. Could you give me an example, please? I don't mind you asking at all. I know my limit as to what I can diverge about my husband. I know what he would be comfortable of me talking about and what not to. And so just ask me, what sort of issues are we talking about? Bevy, swim against the stream, be a salmon, question mark. I'm not sure what you mean by this. It is an analogy that is used a lot in the spiritual and self-development circles, but I'm not sure why you are saying this. Did I mention something about going with the flow? Mr. OCD said hi. Hello. Charlie Cake said hi. Hello. Jan text, hi Didi. Would today be a good time for examples of stock points that might lead to severe complex? Oh yes, sure. Gosh, that was an old conversation. So what would you like to know about it? To be a good time. What would you like to know? Is it you would like to know if you have a severe complex or not? Could you remind me what is your main concern about the topic of severe complex? I can read to you what the severe complex is about. Or rescue syndrome. It is a psychological pattern where someone feels an overwhelming, almost compulsive need to save or fix other people. While not an official diagnosable disorder, it is widely recognized in psychology as a form of codependency that can lead to deep emotional exhaustion and strained relationships. There you go. Core traits and warning signs of the severe complex. So there are different categories. The first point is the martyr mentality. Consistently sacrificing your own time, finances, and mental well-being to solve other people's problems. Next thing is drawn to vulnerability. Subconsciously seeking out or staying in relationships with people who are struggling or need fixing. Next, hyper-responsibility. Taking on the burden of someone else's actions or emotions, believing that you are the only one who can help them. And finally, lack of boundaries. Finding it incredibly difficult to say no, leading to immense resentment when the people that you save don't show the expected level of gratitude. So those are common signs that someone has a severe complex. Can you relate to any of those points? So I'm going to continue reading what it says. The severe complex often develops as a coping mechanism in early childhood. Children who grew up in chaotic or emotionally volatile environments often learn to become the fixers, to bring peace to their surroundings. You internalize the belief that your worth is tied to how much you can help others and keep everyone happy. Now there's a danger. While the intentions are often well-meaning, this behavior is ultimately problematic. It can prevent the other person from developing their own coping skills, creating dependency instead of healing. And psychologically, the savior acts out of a need to feel important, powerful, and needed. So it comes from a place of needing to be purposeful, to be important, to be special, which inadvertently robs the other person of their autonomy. In psychology, this behavior plays out in the drama triangle or winner's triangle, where the rescuer frequently swaps roles between being the hero, the persecutor when they get frustrated, and the victim when their help is not appreciated. So yes, what do you think about this? Does that cover the things you had in mind? Do you believe that you may suffer from the severe complex? If so, there are some suggestions here. Overcoming a savior complex requires unlearning a long-held belief about how you earn love and value. So what you can do is to practice detachment, distinguish between caring for someone and rescuing them. You can offer support without taking responsibility for the final outcome. Also, you can set firm boundaries. Pause before saying yes to request. Give yourself time to consider if you have the emotional bandwidth to help without depleting yourself. And then you can embrace helplessness. Accept that you cannot control or fix everything. Allow others to navigate their own consequences and learn from them. So basically, surrender to the universe. Don't believe that you are in charge of everything. And then finally, seek professional support. A therapist can help you unpack the roots of this behavior and guide you in building self-worth. The self-worth that is not dependent on serving others. So that's one of the things that RTT, the system that I use, can do. You address the root cause, the belief, the original belief that is connected to why you believe that you should be that person, you should be doing those things. Then we upgrade it from the subconscious mind. But then again, there are many different tools. I'm just saying this so we know that there are some systems that can address this faster. Pumpkin Puff. Hi, Didi. How are you feeling today? I'm very good. How about you? Pumpkin Puff. Jan text. Yes, I can relate to a lot of what you read. Okay, so there you go. So maybe you may have a savior complex. What does that? How does that make you feel? Do you want to change this? Is there anything you want to do about it? We can talk about this if you want. We all experience all sorts of feelings and emotions and states. And so a lot of people may want to help others without having the savior complex. But just like with everything, a pattern of habit is only problematic because of its intensity, because of how much it affects our quality of life. And so most of us may want to help others, but some of us are obsessed with that. Some of us are attaching our sense of self, our personality with constantly always helping others. And that's when this becomes a problem. It affects not only us, but also the people that we are saving. Pumpkin Puff. I've been better spending a lot of time with my pups. Okay, fantastic. If you have pups, you're in a very, very privileged, special, happy place. I wished. Um, I do play with dogs outside. Today I spent some time with one of my neighbor's dog. So there's always that. At some point we will get more dogs. I think once you have a dog, you cannot spend too long without them. Because you realize how much you're missing out. They make everything better. Everything about life is much easier and kinder and happier and more joyful just by them being in your life. I wish all the people who hate pets knew that. I can certainly feel the difference in my body. I was talking about anxiety, and since our last dog left us, my level of anxiety that is translated in my blood pressure has gone up because for I don't know how long, for I can't remember, 13 years, 15 years, 18 years, we had dogs non-stop. Um, so I got used to constantly having dogs to hug, to sleep with, to play with, to be with, just hearing them snoring, farting, doing, and snorting, whatever they do. Just their presence is soothing and changes everything as far as the nervous system is concerned. And so, yeah. Pumpkin Puff, I'm wondering how I can handle the sadness I feel when I see a roadkill. It breaks my heart. So whatever that you entertain in your mind in terms of picture will emulate an emotion in your body. And so if you see a roadkill, you will have your heart broken. If I see a roadkill, I will have my heart broken. If I see people hurting animals on social media, I will have my heart broken. If I see people mistreating humans, I will have my heart broken. If I think about them, I will feel sad. And so how do you deal with that? You find a way to think about something else. That's it. The only reason you feel heartbroken when you play with pictures is because you are human. It's normal. Now the problem is not that you feel bad when you see or think about those pictures, but it's that you keep thinking about them. As long as you keep thinking about them, you will keep translating those images into emotions for you to feel in your body. The emotions of anger, sadness, injustice, all of those things, is totally normal. There's nothing wrong with that. The only wrong part of it, and by wrong, the only problematic part of that process is that you keep thinking about them. That's it. So how do you stop thinking about something? You can't. You can't force yourself to stop thinking about something. But what you can do is to choose to think about something else instead. Choose something that excites you, something that stimulates you positively, enough so that you don't need to think about it anymore. Now, if you can't do this, it may be because you have some level of trauma, and then you need professional help. Sometimes we try to do a lot of things, but if you have some emotional attachment that are so intense that we can't not think about it, then you need some further help. So a lot of professionals out there, a lot of different systems. Something that you could do is practice mindfulness and meditation. If you don't do this already, this is also something that can help you. There are tons of things that you can do about it. But the main thing for you to remember is that if you feel sad, it's normal because it's sad. But if you want to stop feeling sad, you have the power. You need to find a way to think about something else than that. Okay? Does it work? Does it help? Pumpkin Puff. Honestly, hello. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for trying to help people. Thank you, honestly. Um, we're all doing our bit. This is what I do. Jan text. Thank you, Didi. Yes, I would like to change this. I do like helping people, but I need to work on setting boundaries and not being responsible for the outcomes. I think happy people should not be ... So it's like everything. It's not what we do. It is how we feel when we're doing that thing. So, and as we said, there are different um, portions of that process. If we are obsessed with trying to help everyone, so much so that we feel that there's something wrong, unless we try to help them fix something, now it's going to be detrimental to them and to you. But every now and then, we want to help people. But it's got to come from a good place. It's got to come from a place of generosity. I feel good. I have a lot of goodness in me. So it's easy for me to give to others, as opposed to codependency. I need to give because it confirms the narrative that I have about myself at any cost. And if they don't take my help, or if they don't take my help, I'm going to suffer from this. Or if they don't say thank you, I'm going to suffer from that. Or if I get burnt out because there are so many people for me to think about and to try to help, this is not a thing either. I know so many people who will come to see me and say, "Oh, Didi, I've got so much problems." And so I will ask them what's going on. They tell me, "Oh, my mom has that, and my brother has that, and my friend has that, and my ex has that problem, and my neighbor has that, and someone that I know who knows someone has that." They're like, "Gosh, are you going to take responsibility of all the pain in the world? You're doing this to yourself. They're not even asking you to do this." But sometimes we do this because this is how we see ourselves based on the role that we had in childhood in our family, in our first family. So yes, Gentex. Let me see. Hopefully, there's a second part to that. I think helping people should not be ... Down. I get you in the roadkill pumpkin. It makes me cry. I thought I was the only one. Honestly, if I told you my life, you'd say, write a book. Okay? You don't need to tell me your life. Write your book. Write your book. We all have a book to write. We all have a song to sing, a dance to dance. Whatever that it is, we all have a journey to take. So do it. Write your book. If you feel that there's something about your life that is very, very important to express, do it. Do it for yourself, first and foremost. And then you may actually impact others as well in some capacity. Pumpkin Puff. I agree. My dogs have been a huge help when I'm sad. They always run to me to give me kisses, and it makes me so happy. Sorry to remind you again of your dogs. Don't be sorry. It's life. It's okay. I'm happy. It's my choice. And there's a lot of happy moments, and sometimes it's okay to feel a bit sad, to feel a bit down, because again, a life, a day, is made of contrast. If I was always happy, happy the whole day, that'd be bloody boring. It's all about experiencing. Sometimes I may feel a little bit helpless, a little bit lost, confused. I may feel some feeling of injustice and unfairness. But then, the next moment, that it's okay. I can deal with that. And that makes me feel great. So thanks to those things, I'm feeling better. I don't have doggies at the moment, but I have everything else. And it's also my choice. And I can always remind myself of our dogs. And that in itself is a good thing to be reminded about. So there's nothing wrong about it. Thank you for your concern, Pumpkin Puff. But it's all good. Pumpkin Puff. It's just that I see them dead almost every day, and I feel so angry that it's such an issue. Okay. So there's something that you can do about it. If you feel sad about something, do something about it. If it's something that you see every day, if where you live there are roadkills every day, do something about it. Do something whenever you can do something about it. That will give you a sense of empowerment. I'm trying to change something. You will still get sad, you will still get angry, but at least you are channeling that anger to some good use. You're doing something out of it instead of just feeling sad because it's happened. Do something about it. Write some petitions, send some letters, organize some stuff, get to see some specialists, see if there's anything that can be done. One of the best way to address something that is recurrent in our life, a problem, is to try to do something about it. And then once you've tried to do something about it, you can tell yourself, I tried to do something about it. At this point in time, there's nothing else that I can do. Now I can chill out and move on. I tried to do something about it. I need to relinquish this to the universe. Do your job, do the next thing, see what happens. And I will keep trying. For now, I've done everything that I had to do, that I could. Now I need to chill. I need to watch something on TV. I need to read a book. I need to do some painting. I need to do something that I enjoy doing instead of just thinking about those pictures in my head of roadkills. Pumpkin Puff. Sorry, I meant the animals on the road should have been more clear. I get it. I understand. What else would have had understood? Dawn Woodland. Ah, Pumpkin, you are sensitive. I'm the same. Pumpkin at Dawnland. At Dawn Woodland, I feel a lot of empathy for them because they're innocent. All they did was to walk on the road. Yes, I agree, guys. I'm with you. Pumpkin Puff. I wish humans were better. It's not that humans were better. Is that we all have different priorities at different times, and sometimes our path clash with other things, and those things happen. And so it's not about stop wishing that people were better. If you want empowerment, wish that you did something about it. How about that? If you wish that everyone is different, there are chances where we are disempowered. I wish for them to do this. I wish for it to be different. There's nothing we can do about it. But if you think, okay, I wish for myself to be different so I can do something, even if it's tiny, little bit something. Now we're onto something. Now we are becoming useful. Now we are changing the state of the world, right? Stop wishing for people to be better. Be the change. And again, we all are onto states. I understand. I was myself like that for the vast majority of my life. But it's really important to realize that we have power. We all do. I do. You do in some capacity. Um, and even if what you do doesn't necessarily get somewhere, we get started on something that may inspire someone else to do something, and eventually, somewhere down the line, what you have ignited may end up in something positive for the animals. Dawn Woodland, Me Too Pumpkin. Dawn, I also don't like it when I see cats catch birds. Yeah. Yeah, like my husband as well. He hates cats. He doesn't hate cats, but he dislikes them as opposed to dogs because cats can be very cruel to birds, to little animals. I used to have a cat before we had dogs. I love all animals, but I understand his point of view. I understand your point of view as well, which is the same, basically. Genji, humans can feel like parasites at times, but not all humans are bad. So this is the most important thing for you, Genji, to realize. Indeed, there's no such thing as humans. There's only a collection of vast different uh, types of humans. We're all vastly different. It's like when people say men are like that, or women are like that, liberals are like that, Republicans are like that. And it's just rubbish. People are people. Whether you are religious, atheist, whether you are right or left, whether you are young or old, a lot of people, or millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever, it's just rubbish. It's oversimplification. It's mental laziness. But I understand that this is what we do. We've been controlled, we've been, not controlled, we've been brainwashed to oversimplify everything, put everyone in the same bag. Again, binary, this or that, right or wrong, true or false. Um, and because of that, we suffer. Because of that, we clash. Because of that, we are limiting our potential. And so, stop thinking. And you are doing this. You're doing this here. Humans can feel like parasites at times, but not all humans are bad. So, rephrase that. Go back. Instead of thinking humans can be all parasites, but they're not all like that. Tell yourself, okay, you know what? Let me rephrase this. There are all sorts of humans out there. I'm one of them. And not only sometimes they can be toxic, sometimes they can be good, but also not everyone is toxic to everything and everyone all the time, or good to everyone and everyone all the time. We all change. We also impact the world around us, and we can be toxic to other people or other things without us even realizing at times. It's absolutely true for all of us. And so when we do this, we are starting to expand our understanding of the world. It's not like there are good people and there are bad people. They're just people, and we're all doing our best. And some of us will do more good than others. But even though people who are doing a lot of bad stuff too, a lot of people, there's a reason why we do this. They're not fundamentally bad. We're only bad within a context. And the reason why it's important for you to get this right, Genji, is because you have BPD. So when you split, you stop categorizing people as either good or bad. My husband is not one moment, he's the best person in the world. The next moment is the worst person in the world. No, he's the same person, but in that moment you're being hijacked by your own emotion, by your own reaction, and that is affecting your judgment. It's affecting your interpretation, your relationship, your feeling that you have for your husband. So by doing all that work, this is how you expand those perspectives, and eventually you may be able at some point to bring that awareness in those moments of rage and trigger. Thank you for your heart. Pumpkin Puff, that's a good point. It just feels like there is nothing I can do. There's always something you can do. Maybe not right away, maybe it seems insignificant, but what matters is what you do something. Again, the example that I always give is Nelson Mandela. He could have thought that there's nothing he could do from his cell for like, I don't know how long, I always forget, 23 years, and yet he did something incredible, wonderful, amazing, spectacular. He became president after having spent 33 years in prison and being called a terrorist. And so, even if you feel that you can do nothing about it, think about it. Think about Nelson Mandela. And tell yourself, maybe I'm in that prison for now, but I'm going to keep hoping, I'm going to keep dreaming, I'm going to keep doing my best every day. At some point, something will happen. But it will only happen when you stop thinking about the outcome. Things only happen when you stop thinking about it. As long as you keep thinking about something that you want, you're still holding yourself onto it, you're still creating resistance. So it's a bit spiritual. But I found out that all the things that happen always happen when we don't think about them. And I'm here talking about the law of attraction manifestation. Also, not just psychology. Pumpkin Puff. I worry my words get misunderstood is all. Okay. Catherine Panza. Just want to say thank you. I'm sick the week and will go to bed. Hope to see you next time. Okay, all right. Okay, so thank you for making the effort to say hello, and I hope that you get well soon. If you are not sure about it, if you didn't know, I come live on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time at this point in time. I may change at some point, but for now, 6 p.m. seems all right. Kevin, hi Didi, right? Hello, Didi, yes, as opposed to Diddy. I think it was you last time, wasn't it? So yes, thank you. That's how you spell my name. Genji, how do I apply that I thought towards everything so my thoughts are less black and white? I just explained. So I hope that you took some notes or you can replay that video. Right? There are tons of things. But I think we are seeking, the way you phrase your sentence is like you're seeking one system, one thing. And in reality, it's all of those things. There's not one system. It's about you learning how to constantly zoom out and consider the bigger picture. Dawn Woodland. Again, but it's normal again because your perspective is of a black and white one. So if there's one problem, it also implies that there's one solution to that one problem. But in reality, there's not one problem. There is one situation that is the result, the occurrence of many things all happening at the same time. So in order to fix that thing, in order to address that thing, in order to upgrade that thing, there's not just one solution. There's all of those things we need to be aware of and find out which one is the priority to address. And eventually, as we address different things, something will shift in regards to that situation that is problematic. Dawn, I find because I'm small and petite, a lot of people have tried to bully and target me. That may be the case, but in reality, it's true. Again, nothing is just this or that. It's true that generally speaking, if you are physically coming across as more vulnerable, there will be more people who would assume that you are easier to bully. But I know a lot of people who are not tall, who are petite, men and women, who are very fierce. You can't do nothing because they know themselves, because they have confidence, because they wish to speak out, because they don't see themselves as small. And conversely, I know some people who are huge, who look scary, but they're very sweet, they're very kind. They wouldn't harm a fly. And so there's a discrepancy between what we look like and how we are inside. But generally speaking, although it's true that the way you look will be judged by many in society, the way you behave will override it. So find a way to address whatever about your personality you may want to upgrade, and then you'll be surprised. I, for instance, I was thinking about it the last 3 days. Uh, we are all different size, and there's always someone who is taller, someone who is shorter. I am 1 meter 72. So compared to a worldwide scale, I found out that I am average. The perfect average at a worldwide scale is 1 meter 71. So I'm just 1 centimeter higher. However, so I can see a lot of people who are shorter and taller than me. But for a long time, I saw myself as short because I used to hang out with a lot of people who were taller than me. So I was, but then I went to the gym and I get bigger. And now suddenly I didn't get taller. But because I was bigger, because I have tattoos, and because I lift heavy weight, everyone at the gym, including the Goliath, looked at me like the alpha gorilla because of the way I behaved and the things that I do. And so it's a matter of attitude, really. And lately I was thinking, gosh, because my weight fluctuated depending on my phases. I may go to the gym, I may not go to the gym, I may eat more, eat less, whatever. So I change shapes every now and then. But then I realized that if I didn't train, if I didn't have tattoos, if I didn't lift heavy weights, if I didn't have that confidence that I have about myself because of the things that I can do, then to some people, I'm tiny. I, I walked past a group of young students, and they're all giants and huge, and I felt like an oompa loompa. But I knew that if they came to my gym and they saw me lifting weight, they would look up to me. And we go, gosh, master, teach me how to do that. So everything is a matter of context. Everything is happening here, really, right? Yeah, I hope it helps. This is for Dawn. Spiraxis, hello Didi. I'm just popping in to say I had my appointment yesterday and it went great. Fantastic. I imagined, as you suggested, the very best thing that could happen, and I really feel it made all dot dot dot. Fantastic, great news. Thank you, Spiraxis, for this. Dot dot dot. Pumpkin puff. So if I will something enough, so if I will something enough, will it happen? I don't understand what you mean by if I will it enough. What does that mean? To will something? Could you rephrase this for me, please, so that I can understand what you really mean? Jan text, part 2. Lol. I think helping people should not be integral to my self-worth. Yes, though I'm not sure how to maintain my self-worth without tying my helping others to my self-worth. Any ideas? You want to develop a sense of self by connecting your sense of self to other things than helping others. And so maybe you enjoy music, maybe you enjoy cooking, maybe you enjoy socializing, maybe you enjoy nature, maybe you enjoy fashion, maybe you enjoy whatever. Think about the things that you enjoy, the things that you can create, the things that you can do, the things that makes you happy. Spend more time exploring those things and associating yourself with those things. And you'll be surprised. Again, the brain is economical and efficient. And so the more you spend your time focused on something, the better you will become at doing that thing and forgetting about everything else. Like me, I'm obsessed about the mind. I'm obsessed about therapy and psychology. So I've become very good at these things over the years because I'm obsessed. And I need to remind myself every now and then, take a break, do something else totally different, because otherwise I burn out like everyone. But what I'm trying to say is that because I've done this for such a long time, most of who I am now is to do with what I do with my work. It's my choice. Um, but you can do the same. At this point in time, you have associated yourself with being the helper, the savior, because you've been doing it for a long time. That's it. You've been doing it for such a long time that all your neural pathways about that aspect of you have reinforced, and everything else has been discarded. It's just a matter of efficiency. Your brain reinforces what you repeat, and it discards, it loses what you don't use. And so, how do you correct this? Simple. Choose new better habits, replace it gradually, repetitively over time. And then that's how you do it. But again, it depends. If it's something that is attached to a trauma, if it's attached to something very hurtful, to some very strong negative emotions, then you may need therapy because it's happening at a subconscious level, not at a conscious level. So something to consider. However, if you don't want to go for therapy or if you don't have access to it, there are ways around it. It's just that it will take more time. Everything is possible. Um, I never want to be the guy who says, if you don't do this, you will never get that. It's not true. I believe in miracles. It happens sometimes to some of us. And so anything can happen. But it's important to realize that if it's something that you have been doing for a long time, it may be attached to your sense of self. And it may be because of some of the things that happened to you in childhood. And so it needs some proper tools to access this part of you. And that'll be through the help of some mental health professionals. Um, However, whether you have access to those tools or not, there's still something that you can do. Just what I said. From a superficial level, you can deliberately focus on developing all these other aspects of yourself. And it may be frustrating, it may take some time, or maybe not, I don't know. But just try and see what happens. It may work, it may not. Or it may work over a long period of time, or it may work in parallel with other stuff that you mean, in conjunction with other stuff that you may implement into your healing journey. And so, yes, we're all vastly different, but my main message is for you to realize that you can change everything and anything about your personality you can change, because we don't have a personality that is fixed. We just have a collection of habits of thoughts, some patterns of thoughts and emotions, and because we need to make sense of this world, we're going to decide that our personality is who I am. I need to know, I need to understand. This is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I dislike. I'm a Sagittarius, ascendant, Taurus, whatever. I'm allergic to strawberries. But whatever it is, we are going to think this is who I am. Because if I know who I am, I know what world I'm living in. That's it. But in reality, all those things that you call personality, they're all just a collection of habits. And any habit can be upgraded over time. Time and repetition. It's absolutely possible. One thing at a time. Spiraxis, thank you for your heart. Spiraxis, the difference to the energy I took into the treatment. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your help. Bless you. Thank you. I'm going back again 2 weeks from now. Okay, you know what to do now. Keep on playing the happy ending good movies in your mind. That will help you not only on the day, but also that will help you heal. That will help you go through the whole process and heal better. Your mind is your body. Your mind listens to you. Every part of your body has cells with their own mind, with their own systems. They're all listening to you constantly. So whatever you tell yourself, whatever pictures you play in your mind, whatever narrative you entertain, whatever movie, whatever picture, again, I said it already, you choose to allow in your mind is going to get all of your cells in your body to react in a certain way. So you can choose better narrative, better stories to tell yourself so that your body can respond better to those stories. Genji. Yes, I type questions sometimes and then you explain it before you even see I asked. Genji, I need to be more patient with listening to you fully before responding. That is an issue I have. It's not an issue. It's all right. It's okay. It's normal. Genji, it's not an issue. Stop doing this. You're right. It's not a problem at all. It happens. Not a big deal. Kevin, how are you, Didi? I'm very well. How about you? Mr. OCD, I harmed about 3 flies today with a newspaper, then put them in the plant pot so not to waste their souls. Okay, so you feel sad about it. So that means if you feel sad about it in the future, you don't have to harm them. Maybe you can find a way to get them out without killing them. My husband hates killing anything at all. And so even when we have spiders, which he's terrified of, he will never have them. He will be shaking and take a paper and get rid of them. And he always does that. So it depends. If you feel that you can do an extra effort to spare them, then that will make you feel better about yourself. Same thing with moth or flies. We open the windows, we switch off the light, we fan them off with some newspaper, but we don't try to kill them. But I mean, you do what you want. But if you feel bad about it, maybe you can try different systems that don't need to kill them. I'm saying this because you put a sad face emoji. I'm not lecturing you. But get puff. If I want to help enough, I will find a way to help. To will something means to deliberately try to make an event happen. So it depends. The will is not necessarily going to make it happen. You need 2 things for that will to happen. You need to have the thought about it, and most importantly, you need to have the feeling that drives it. So if you want something, it is the emotion that you have about that want that will either make it happen or not. So this is similar to the law of attraction. If I want something very, very badly, I don't know, I have no example in my mind now. But if you want something very badly, give me an example. But if you don't give me an example, I'm just talking in abstract. If you want something, You can come from a place of lack and despair. I hate myself. I want that thing. I can never be happy until and unless I have that thing. Now that energy is negative. That drive is negative. So it's going to repel what you want. But if you want something and you believe, I deserve it, I want it, I feel good, I'm happy and I'm excited, I know that I can have it, I'm patient, it will happen in its due time, I don't care, I want, but now that energy is going to lift you up and it's going to allow for that thing to happen. So what matters most is always the emotion that drives the thought. Though it is a tough word nowadays, I do struggle. We can talk about it if you want. Um, the world is the world, and it's true that there's a lot of terrible things. But it is possible to find a way to not define yourself by the state of the things that you see. There are the things in your life that you can entertain in your mind so that you can feel better about yourself. Kevin, to the own self be true. Okay. Jiki, hello Jiki. Jan text, thank you for your help, Didi, truly. I'm going to go do some writing on this now. Fantastic. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll catch up with you on another live stream. Thank you so much, Jan text. And remember, I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays at this point in time from 6 p.m. UK time. Thank you for the support. Genji, thank you. I just don't want to seem like I'm not listening. Oh, you're right. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we can talk every single time. OG Frenchy fan said hi. Hello. I'm a Frenchy fan as well. If you mean by Frenchy, French Bulldogs. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it here, but you should be able to see a tattoo of a French Bulldog. I don't know. I can't see it when I turn my head, but I like to hope that it's in the right angle. This one looks like our last one. We had 3. Pumpkin Puff, do you think we can achieve anything we want? Yes, yes, we can achieve anything we want. However, again, I'm talking about emotions and feelings a lot. And so what we want, what we need to realize is that what you want is not the thing that you think you want. What you want is the feeling that that thing is going to give you. And so with that in mind, you can achieve anything that can give you that same sort of feelings. It may be the same thing, it may not be. And so for some of us, we may be able to have exactly that thing that will give us a feeling. But for some others, it may be having something else that is different than that thing, but that will still give us that same feeling. And this is very important. Because a lot of us, we get to a certain age and we realize, we think that it's too late. But it's only too late for that thing. It's never too late for the feeling that that thing could bring. So we can find alternative. So the example that I can give is, for instance, if someone wants to be an Olympic champion, after a certain age, they may not be, or maybe if they had an accident, they may not be able to do this. But they can always compete at a later stage in older categories, or if they are disabled in Paralympic sports, and still experience the feelings of competing. That's the difference. So in that mind, you can have everything. Like me, I love my music, and because I've reached 56 years old, I will probably never have a band that can tour and be successful. However, I will always be able, and I will do that at some point in time, spend time and write songs and record those things and create an album and send it out there. It is possible nowadays with YouTube, with social media, and so I can still get the same experience. I may be able to do some gigs in front of some people, probably not Glastonbury, but still, although you never know, because there's a lot of stage there. But I will still be able to do something out of this. And so, with that in mind, yes, you can get everything that you want. Maybe not always exactly the same, although for some people it's possible. But most importantly, you will always be able to find a way to get the feelings, the emotional experience that you want from that thing. Does it help? Pumpkin Puff. Thank you for your heart. Genshi, I believe you do understand how I can overthink everything, but I still clarify as much as I can. It's alright, it's good. Genshi, a friend of mine actually called me out for over-explaining something they already understood. So it depends how they said that. If they said that in a very exasperated way, maybe they're not such good friends, because they should understand that we're all different. Or maybe you need to tell them, you know what, this is who I am, take it or leave it. But based on how you speak to me, I would understand why they would get exasperated with you. Why? Because you're always apologizing. As long as you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, then we get people to get annoyed by you. And so maybe something that you want to fixate on, to focus on, is to stop saying, I'm sorry to everything all the time. Learn how to catch yourself. Put a mental note and tell yourself, instead of saying, I'm sorry of something, find a different way to say it. You have to give me examples. I can't give you examples like that. If you give me examples, I can give you what you should say instead. But you've got to stop, because otherwise, that's how and why some people will call you out for over-explaining things, because they see you as someone that is always. We all have our own shadows that we project on others, and so it's not because there's nothing wrong with you. It's because you are reminding them of something that they don't like about themselves. But the result is still there. I understand that because I'm the same. For a long time, one of our best friends was really, really, really annoying me. And she's been through a lot of trauma, like terrible stuff. And I knew that, but still, because of the way she was, oh, I'm sorry, she was super overly nice, super people pleaser. Something would really annoy me. But I understood why, because I don't want to be that, because I'm projecting me not being that, and because she's reminding me of my mum. So because of that, of my own baggage, I'm getting annoyed. And so because of that, your friends, that person probably is writing to you. So something that you want to do is to correct that. Don't allow for sort of dynamics. You can make it better. Talk to them, tell them this is who I am, I'm working on myself, and do your best to stop apologizing for everything. Be aware of it. You will still apologize because it's your program, but learn how to rephrase afterward, perhaps, or if you can catch yourself before you say something, then find a creative way to say it in a way that is not apologetic. Otherwise, you keep on sending that vibe, that energy. I'm I'm a people pleaser, and that can really annoy some people. And again, it's not because there's nothing wrong about you. We're all doing our best, but I'm just explaining the process of it. Sanko. Hello, Didi. I came to remind you about my comment. What about suppressing my own mood to not make others uncomfortable? Okay, so let's talk about this. But I need to remember about the context. What about suppressing my own mood to not make others uncomfortable? So I forgot about the context, but just based on that, we never want to suppress our emotions or our moods to make other people feel comfortable. Pardon me. I was talking about people pleasing, and this is it. Very often we're going to put others' moods or feelings and emotions ahead of ours. And when you do that, you are repressing yourself. And not only you are repressing yourself, and it's hurtful to your own life experience, but also it's going to create some problems in your relationship with people. Because now you have become a people pleaser to them. And so you may end up attracting some people who will take advantage of you. You give them that, they take that, and so on and so forth. But because you are doing this, you are allowing them. Because you keep on suppressing your own needs to put their needs in front of the queue. So we can expand this if you want, but I need you to tell me more about that conversation or about how you feel about it. But we never want to repress ourselves. We want to learn how to accept and love our whole selves. And when we're able to accept and love our whole self, as opposed to pretending I'm perfect, I'm always happy to help. When we're able to love ourselves, that's when we're showing people, we're teaching people how they should love us. Now, of course, it's complicated. Do you have trauma? Do you have conditions? Do you have a history? Do you have some baggage? Maybe we can start there. That'll be easier. If you want to tell me about yourself, then we can address those things from where it started. Genji, when you were in a band, you played guitar and sang, correct? You can't sing now, though, because of your injury. I used to play guitar only. And after, when we separated, I've learned to sing and to play piano. But when I was in band, I was always just a guitarist. But then after that, when I split up from my band, I started to, I don't know actually. After that, in 1997, then I was the singer of my own band. And so I was the singer and guitar player and keyboardist. I'm thinking about before and after, but you won't know about this. So basically, yes, when I was in band, I was playing guitar, singing, and playing piano. But I started as a guitarist. And I did have an injury indeed. I dropped a barbell with 120 kilo on my throat under the bench press. And ever since, I lost a lot of octave. So it's only been recently I started to sing again, like literally 2 weeks ago, after 20 years of not singing. And it's terrible. But I understand how it works. I understand that it's something that you can stretch over time. And so maybe if I do it regularly for another year, I'll be able to sing it again. But at the moment, my range is very limited. When I go high, it gets constricted, and low, I still need to work on my breath and all of these things. Genshi, would you ever go back to doing that, or is it behind you in a way? So I just explained it. So we are all right. So yes, I will at some point when the time is right. Senko, I also tend to be nervous around strangers and too much cautious, becoming stiff for as long as I am outside home. Okay, so we're talking about social anxiety here. You have a lot of baggage. So the problem when we're talking about repressing your mood to make other people feel comfortable, to me, it tells me that you may have had some sort of trauma in your childhood. Have you? Because those are not the problem. Those are the symptoms of the problem. The problem is the trauma itself. And then you're confirming this. You don't feel safe when you're outside home, right? You feel nervous around strangers. So have you considered, or are you already working on yourself for this? Mr. OCD, I'm off now to do my end of the year accounts before deadline. Oh, wow. End of the year. I thought it was in April. But listening to you gave me the power to carry on. Thank you, Mr. OCD. I mean that in a good way. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. And please, if you can, try not to kill too many insects. That'd be amazing. If not, you do what you have to do. But yeah, thank you, Mr. OCD. I wish you well with what you have to do. And see you next. Sanko, but if I put my own emotions and mood over others' moods, won't that make me narcissistic or annoying? So there's a lot of things you need to learn. You really, really need to. There's a lot of self-awareness. At the moment, you have a very small understanding of how your mind works, and it's either this or that. But there's so much depth to it. There's so much things to be taught about it. But the simple answer is no. And it doesn't matter if you are coming across as narcissistic or annoying. Your priority is to learn how to love yourself. Your priority is to learn how to not even love, just to like yourself. Learn how to tolerate yourself. Learn how to accept yourself. Learn how to live with yourself, with your own presence. Just that is a start. And eventually, you can learn how to really appreciate and be grateful for who you are. And when you do that, then you'll be healed. Genji, you're right. I say it so much. I apologize to inanimate objects because I ran into them. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Well, have an awareness of this and do your best to remind yourself. Start with the easier things, like we said before. Start with the object. Um, Whenever you run into something, you say, "Oh, sorry, I don't know, sorry, table, that kicks you." But say, "Oh, this is silly. Why am I doing this for?" And remind yourself, I'm doing this because it's a reflex that I have. So I was thinking about creating a post about this. A good system that we can have to deal with any of our problems is to ask ourselves 4 questions. All of our problems can be resumed in one sentence. Anything that we call a problem, if it's a pattern, is no more or less than a system that we have created in childhood to protect ourselves from something. That's it. So anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, procrastination, imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, anger issues, food addiction, anything at all, they all the result of us having created that as a system to protect us from whatever was happening to us back then. So what we want to do is to ask ourselves 4 questions. Question number 1, because also something else that I need to say, that system is emotional. So whenever we're going to face a situation, I'm being excited now. Whenever we're going to face a situation, we're going to feel something in our body, first and foremost. And that feeling, that emotion is going to get us then to think something and to behave or to react in a certain way. And so, first question, what is the feeling? Question number 2, what happened to me as a child for me to have created that system? Number 3, what is the purpose of that system? What is that feeling that system trying to protect me from? And finally, number 4, do I need it now as an adult? Can I come up with an alternative that will be more productive and positive? So I'm going to give you an example here. I've been thinking about it myself. Um, uh, and this is the synchronicity part. I came up with that thought and that post this morning before I went to bed. And then this afternoon, I was working on different things. And at some point, I was trying to to uh, to export a video from CapCut to YouTube, and it didn't allow me to. So there's a problem with my subscription, whether I'm standard or pro or whatever. And in the past, every time I would have a technological problem that would drive me mad, I would get angry, rage, really, really bad. All my life, I've been plagued by that. Every time that I'm facing something that is to do with technology, I will go crazy, mad, very bad. I will shout, oh! I remember I've tried so many things over the years in regards to my music. All of those computer programs to record, and I could never get them right. I bought Cubase number 2 when it came out. Didn't work. Following years, I bought Cubase number 3, number 4, number 5, number 7, thinking that somehow if I spend more money on the new editions, that would be easier, and it never made it. I never could get my head around it, and I was so angry at myself. There were some times where I had problems with my phone. I would call Apple, the customer service, and they would try to help me, and I would get so angry. I would abuse them. I would shout at them, writing things, shouting at the screen, and really, really getting mad. And so today I was trying to export that video from CapCut, the app that organizes the editing, to YouTube, and it didn't work. And so I could feel that anger coming. I was like, oh, not again, computer stuff, technology, error. So I thought, oh, you know what? Let's apply on myself the thing that I came up with yesterday. So, 4 question. What is the feeling? Frustration. I'm feeling frustrated. Number 2, what happened to me in my childhood so that I created that system whenever I'm facing technology? Well, what happened to me is that I've been called stupid. What happened to me is that no one knew that I had ADHD. What happened to me is that I believed that I could not do those things. And so if I don't believe that I'm intelligent enough to deal with those sort of things, what do I need? What tool am I going to use to address anything? Anger. This is our primal program. Anger is the thing that moves us to try to solve something. With intelligence, we can do things better. Without intelligence, we just get angry. And so the reason why that anger, that frustration has existed in my mind as a system is because I believed that I was stupid, that I could not do those things, because everyone kept on telling me that I was stupid, because no one knew that I had ADHD. And so I was left with the only one thing that we are born with to deal with any of the situations, which is anger and frustration. So that's number two. Why? What happened to me in childhood for me to have this? What happened? Question number three. So now, what is the purpose of anger and frustration in regards to a sort of situation? What is it trying to protect me from? Uh, well, the purpose of this is to, is the same as number two, similar, but just from a different perspective, is there to help me deal with that situation. However, it doesn't work. But back then, as a child, I didn't have any other options. So now question number four, do I still need it? No, I don't need it. Now I understand where it's coming from. So I'm going to feel the frustration. I'm going to tell myself, it's okay. It's happened in the past. Now I have my intelligence. I can find ways to make it happen. And then I let it go. And then the next moment, I had access to my mental clarity. What did I do? Google, AI on Google. I want to do this. How can I do that? Da, 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 da. Find that icon. But I can't find it. It's rubbish. Da, 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 da. I'm sorry. Try this instead. And I tried again. So I used AI. The AI on Google is there for everyone. So I kept on asking questions. So yeah, but it doesn't show it on my page. What is the next stop? The next stage? Should I take it order? And it explains me everything. And every now and then I would feel the frustration coming back. But then I would keep on reminding myself, question 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need the frustration. I can use intelligence instead. And eventually, now it's still in the process of happening because it takes some time to download it, but it's happening. And I know that it's going to happen. Even if it doesn't happen, I will make it happen at some point. And so now that I have that mindset, thanks to that insight, thanks to those 4 questions, not only I'm learning something about how to make those things happen, how to connect my Apple subscriptions with my CapCut, with this or that, things that I never had any awareness about. I'm learning, but also I'm learning how to let go of the frustration that has plagued me every single time for 56, maybe not 56, but maybe for all my adult life when it comes to technology. I am now able to remind myself I don't need to feel frustration. I can let go of the anger. I can feel it, process it, and release it. And then switch on my mind and go on Google AI and find the solutions and be patient and learn, grow, expand my understanding of those things instead of being angry like a caveman. So this is how you can do this. Again, all of my live streams are to be found the next day on my page. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe to my channel so that hopefully by tomorrow, it typically takes 24 hours for YouTube to fully upload a live stream. You'll be able to replay that video if you found this insightful. Okay, I will create a video out of this sometime next week, but this is the preview. I just literally thought about this morning. And I applied it on myself this afternoon. So I believe that it can help some people. Try this. Sanko, I just used to be told by my mum what people are going to think of us whenever I do anything that is slightly uncommon or rude or silly. Okay, so basically you have an idea of it. Your system, so now you need to put all those things together for you, Sanko. Your system, your feeling that you have, so I don't know yet what is the feeling, but it's a feeling that you have about yourself, and it's born from that situation. Your mum saying what people are going to think of us. So maybe it's a feeling of insecurity, a feeling of shame, a feeling of unsafety, not being safe. What are people going to think of us? What are they going to say? It's going to affect our reputation, perhaps. And so now you understand that it's because your mum kept on telling you, behave, people are looking at us, don't make a fool out of us, something like that. So now the next question you can ask yourself is, so now, what is the point of that feeling? What is it trying to solve for me now as an adult? What is trying to make you feel comfortable when you're with people? That's what it's trying to do. Number 4, do you still need it? No, because you can learn how to find different ways to feel comfortable. You can remind yourself that you are safe. You don't need to do things. You don't need to do those things to be safe. You don't need to say yes to everyone so that people are not going to shoot you or to destroy you. This is pretty much the state of things. But we believe when we're a child, I have to do that, otherwise there's so much at stake. The brain doesn't make a difference between a real threat and something like that. It's the same as far as it's concerned. So you want to remind yourself of those things, apply what I just demonstrated about my own story on you, and then next, take the action. Okay, so what can I do? What can I learn in order to, what should I learn that I can use to replace that old habit with? Um, Sanko, that's all I remember regarding trauma. That's enough. That's already a lot. Um, Genji, I remember when you told that story long ago and still think about it at the gym. I'm not sure what story you're talking about. I lost the plot already. I'm different places. But okay, some stories I don't remember. Sorry. Dawn, trauma is a very hard thing to get over. Yes, but it's possible. It's possible. That's my job. As a therapist, I help a lot of people recover from trauma, so I can tell you that it's absolutely possible. Is it going to be easy or walk in the park? Not necessarily. Is it guaranteed? No, nothing is guaranteed in life, but it is possible. In fact, everything is hard when it's new and different, but everything becomes easier by the short repetition. And so, is it true that trauma is a hard thing to get over? Yes, of course. But then, is it true that if we work on it with the right tools, with the right people, over time we can fix it? This is also true. And when we get there, life becomes easy, or at least easier. Genji, my husband and I spot each other now because of it. Glad you're here now. Okay. Sanko, by the way, your voice is kind of unclear because the microphone is far away from you and is filtering some pitches of your voice as background noise. All right. I'm sorry. I'm going to do my best to focus on facing. I get it. Because I have uh, because my mic is broken. Um, so yeah. Just now my fan also switched off. So maybe that was the reason why it was harder for you to hear me. So I hope that now it's slightly better. But my mic is also going through some sort of technical difficulties. But again, now that I have a system, I'm going to address the technical difficulty without the frustration and the rage. So at some point, I will use my mic again. Alchemy 2226. Hello, Alchemy. How are you doing? Is there anything you'd like to talk about today? Lifestyle Chat. Hello, Didi. Hello. How are you? I'm very well indeed. How about you? Lifestyle Chat. I find as a woman, if I express anger or frustration one time, it sticks. Then people start defining that as my personality. It doesn't matter what people say or what people think. Just do you. Be you. Express yourself in whichever way feels right for you at that point in time. The right people will stick. The wrong people will judge and they can F off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think. Right? It's true that as a woman, if you get angry, you'll be judged. If you are ambitious, you'll be judged. If you have an ID, if you have a character or personality, you'll be judged. You know what? F them. It doesn't matter. We are in 2026. And so yeah, do your thing. And know that the right people will see you for you are and like you for you are. And the wrong people will dislike you for the very same reason. And it's a good thing that they dislike you because the zillions of us are there. You don't want to be liked by everyone, anyone. You just want to be liked by the right people. Okay? Does it help? Lifestyle Chat. Lifestyle Chat, expecting me to always be angry, always being frustrated, always being negative. But then again, I'm saying this in a very light-hearted way. If it's a pattern with you, then maybe it is a problem. Maybe you suffer from some conditions. Maybe there's some part of you that you need to upgrade. Maybe you are indeed very hurt, so much so that you're always reacting to things, and that makes you come across as angry. And the problem is not the anger, the problem is that you hurt. So we want to address the hurt. I hope it makes sense. Anger is just an emotion, and emotions are originally healthy. Um, what is unhealthy are all the things that goes around it. So this is what we want to address. If it's a pattern, um, and also how you handle the anger can be negative. But anger in and of itself is not bad. There's such thing as healthy anger and unhealthy anger. Healthy anger is when we are expressing, get off my lawn, or something like that. Unhealthy anger is when we're repressing the anger over a long period of time because it's not right to be angry. But then suddenly at some point we can't hold it anymore, and it comes out of nowhere in disproportionate ways. That's why it is very unhealthy. Do you feel that you are always frustrated and always negative? Because again, if that's the case, anger is not a problem. Anger is the symptom of a problem. You want to address the symptom. Do you feel that you may be anxious or depressed or both or more? Or frustrated with life in any which way? Sanko, it's a feeling of anxiety, being not safe, shame, and lack of self-confidence. Okay, so it's about all the things that I mentioned, lack of, not being safe, lack of confidence, and shame. Absolutely. Genshi, I thought those were great steps to think about when experiencing anger. Okay. It's funny how many different conversations are kind of connected somehow. Senko, it happens more intensely when around women. Okay. Lifestyle chat. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman of color as well. I feel I get out into the stereotype or box. Yes, probably. Um, a lot of women of color had to be louder in order to be seen, to be respected. And so because of that, there's that kind of stereotype going on. As always being this angry black woman, even when I'm not angry. There could be also things, again, nothing is just this or that. Everything is many different things. What we want to do is to address the core of the problem. So, what is the problem? Is it that people say things about you? Or is it that you feel angry? What is more important to you? How you feel or how people see you? Lifestyle chat. It's as if it sticks. And then I'm not allowed or supposed to be happy. Again, no one is telling you that. You can do whatever you want to do. When you say I'm not allowed or supposed to be happy, it's because you are putting their opinion ahead of yours. What they think is more important than what I think. So if they think that about myself, now I'm not allowed. No, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Pardon my French. You don't have to do anything. You say this to yourself because you are seeing yourself from their perspective. As long as you see yourself from their perspective, you'll be ruled, governed by their conditions, by their expectations, by their opinions, by their judgment. Um, and so look at yourself from your perspective. Who am I? How am I going to be today? What do I want to project out there in the world? And F anyone who doesn't go with, with my energy, who doesn't like it. But if you suffer, now it's a whole different conversation. If you feel constantly irritated and angry, and it can be both. Um, it's not. We live in a multi-dimensional world, and so it's not just this or that. It may be possible that on one hand, indeed, you have to stop seeing yourself from the perspective of others, but also you want to work on some of your issues, wounds, baggage. Jack Cat Mac, ahoy, ahoy. Lifestyle chat. I'm always supposed to be angry, sad, frustrated. It's as if others people can't move on about me and get past the point. Okay, so now there's a pattern here. We keep on worrying about what they say, what they think. No, you don't have to, because they think that doesn't mean that you have to do anything. You say, I'm always supposed to be angry. You're not supposed to be anything at all. Just be yourself. But then accept that some people will judge you and not accept you, and it's for you to discard them. Instead of sticking with people who are not accepting you for what you are, but are judging you, but are pressurizing you into being something else. You don't have to do this to yourself. It's a big world out there. Lifestyle chat. For example, my dad today sent me an AI video of a little girl singing a Celebrate Me, talking about how she will overcome struggle. I felt like texting him to tell him I'm not a little girl, first of all. Okay, so this is all different thing. Okay, let's see what it takes us. Genji, to clarify from earlier, I meant when you dropped the barbell on your throat. Okay, yes. My husband and I still make sure to spot each other at the gym so that doesn't happen to us. Just 1 second, please. Just 1 second, please. Sorry about that. I'm still here. Something to do with the neighbors. I'm not sure we can, but I sent my husband there, so hopefully he will sort it out. Okay, so back to Genji. To clarify where I went from the Bible. Yes, I get it. Yes, yes. Stay safe at the gym. Thank you for clarifying this for me. Lifestyle chat. Even though I know parents always perceive a part of their children as that little person. Okay. So this is for you to ask yourself, why am I feeling like that? You said to yourself, I'm not a little girl. 1 moment. And then the next moment you tell yourself, even though I know parents always perceive a part of their children as kids. So what I want you to realize is that you are not the same person in each moment. The first moment you reacted emotionally. I'm not a baby. And then the next moment you thought it from your rational mind, your adult's mind, and you thought to yourself, but this is what parents do. So I want you to realize that you have an emotional mind and a rational mind. Sometimes we react. When we react, it's always the child's mind that is taking over. You're always reacting emotionally. You're always dealing with the situation the same way you dealt with it when you were a child. But then the next moment, if you can look at it from here, you can realize, now I can rationalize it. Right? And so what you want to do is to solve solutions from that mind. When you feel something, it happens. It's a program. It's okay to feel. But then the next moment, remind yourself, why did I react like that? Why did I feel like that? Because maybe I've always been belittled when I was a child, and I don't want people. I have never been taken seriously or something like that. So now, from that perspective here, you can tell yourself, so I don't need to be angry, right? I don't need to be annoyed. I can say thank you to my dad. I can say, I love you. I will always be your little girl, and it's okay. Now, does it make sense? Kevin, I hear you well in the USA, Didi. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Little lifestyle chat. And also I felt to tell him I'm not struggling, I'm doing the best I can, but actually I'm doing all right by myself, considering I have little support. Then I said to myself, why I feel the need to explain myself. I need to explain myself to him. So again, you did again. Perfect. The first moment you reacted emotionally. Why do I have to do that? The following moment, you saw things from the rational mind and you said, because of that. So you want to have an awareness that this is happening all the time. We always go back and forth from that mind to that one. And we get confused because we don't know this. When we react, it's normal, it's all program. But the next moment, we can think about it and think, okay, why did I feel like that? Do I still need to feel like that now? Maybe not. Lifestyle chat. I find both my parents do this, trigger me to a point of wanting to explain myself to them. I acknowledge it's a power dynamic thing. And I try very hard to not do this. Fight the urge to explain. No, I'm just doing everything on my own. I feel lonely oftentimes. I don't see any potential for me. Both are important to me, how I feel and how I'm perceived. Okay. So what you want to do is to focus on one thing. Focus on how you feel first. Forget about how you are perceived for this point, for now, because how you are perceived is out of your control. You cannot control how you are perceived. You may be able to show something to one person in one moment, but there are millions of people out there, and everyone has a different expectation of you. Everyone has a different filter. Everyone has a different set of what is good or bad. And so you want to really use your whole energy about how you feel. And as you feel better about yourself, you will see clearer. Things will make more sense. It will be then we can have a conversation about being perceived. How you are perceived is the problem. The problem is that you are obsessed with how you are perceived. The problem is that it matters to you how you are perceived. Now, of course, not everything is all or nothing. It's true that it's important not to go in the street naked with, I don't know, things to follow in society. But it's very important to realize that we are conditioned to try to fit in, to try to belong, to try to be normal. And that is causing a problem because no one has told us what we should be doing. And it often goes against also what we should be, what we should really be. Lifestyle chat. Yes, I'm hurt, but I'm hurt by people who do not care and don't feel to acknowledge the hurt because so there's no point to address it with them. So I can see that you are very overwhelmed, and we can only talk about one thing at a time, right? And also there needs to be a stage of readiness to understand certain things, not from an emotional perspective. Again, you're putting all your power on them. I'm hurt by people who do not care, and it's true. But what you want to do is to realize that even though it's true that they hurt you and they don't care, you want to find out, how can I fix this? As long as you focus on they hurt me, they don't care, they are bad, there's nothing you can do because the ball is in their camp. They did it. If you can ask yourself, what can I do about this? Now you're reclaiming some power. And now you're starting something. You are starting to change, to shift your mindset, and you'll be able to start to change things from that new perspective. Is it true that they don't care? It may be true. Is it true that they've hurt you? I believe you, absolutely. But as long as you focus just on that, you will not be able to change anything about your life. If I tell myself it's because of him, it's because of her, it's because of them, it's because of the sky, the gods, the bad luck, it's because of the gods of bad luck, whatever, I can never change anything about my life because it's because of them. Instead, what we want to do is to ask ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. It's not my fault. They hurt me. However, the only way I can change this is to find out how it's affecting me. Why did I react like that? Why do I feel like that? How can I learn about myself so that I don't feel like that anymore? And as you do that, things start to shift. Sanko. Ahoy, thank you, Didi. Thank you. Lifestyle chat. So I do my best to carry on and keep my mood and temperament to myself. Kevin, I keep falling short on food. I need to eat better. Okay. Lifestyle chat. I'm finding people keep bringing their problem to me. I'm getting fed up of it. Okay. I'm going to read the last comment, but we're coming to the end of the live stream now because it's 8 o'clock. Lifestyle chat. If you want to watch the beginning of that live stream, I actually talked about it. I talked about how some of us, we may not be aware, but we have some level of savior complex within us. So we feel that we need to help everyone. And in reality, there's no need for that. It's just a program. We can absolutely leave everyone where they are with their problems and just focus on ourselves. And it's not selfish, it's not egotistic, it's just putting ourselves first, which is what we should all be doing. Kevin, any idea on why I do that to myself? I would love to talk about it next time if you don't mind, because it's already 1 minute past 8. You're just coming at the end of the live stream, sadly, for today. I do have some things that I would like to do. I want to go out. I want to enjoy summer and go to the gym. I've been here for 2 hours already. But if you can come back next time, remember, I come live on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time. And so if you can come at 6, I would love to give you a whole hour just talking about it if you want. But now it's a bit short of time, and it wouldn't be fair for me to try to rush something so complex and deep into a minute. Um, so yes, Kevin, would you like to come back next time, please? Lifestyle. People always say I don't care what people think, but for example, if you are wanting to date, but all the men in town are gossiping about you and labeling you as the crazy lady, then obviously you are going to care about what those people think in that town if you're trying to date, but the whole town has you as the crazy lady of the town. So if the whole town thinks that you're the crazy lady of the town, then maybe you are the crazy lady of the town. I had to say that, but it's a lot of people, a whole town. I'm not talking about a group of people. If a whole town believes that, then maybe there's something that you want to address about yourself, right? I don't know, right? Again, I'm just trying to say what I feel like based on what you tell me. But um, you know what? Again, if you can come back next time at the beginning of my live stream, I would love to explore that conversation with you in more depth. Lifestyle, live chat. Kevin, supposed only can deprive myself. Rather, supposedly only I can deprive myself. Sanko at Lifestyle Chat. May you heal ASAP. Genji, I wish you a great evening and weekend, Didi. Thank you for our chat today. Till we talk again, my friend. Thank you. Sanko, you too, Genji. Kevin, sounds good. Sanko, goodbye, Didi. Jennifer, thank you for your content. Thank you, Jennifer. Finite Abyss, have a great weekend. See you next time. Thank you. Kevin, yes, I will keep coming back. Fantastic. Thank you. Guys, love you all. Thank you for watching up to the end. Remember, I'm both on TikTok and YouTube. I'm going to start to change my format a little bit, just for those who've been following me for a long time. But I will keep coming live on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays, and I'll be spending time from 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. UK time. And I was going to say something else. I forgot. And if you need more details about me as a professional, there's a link to my website on my bio. I was going to say something else. Yes. If anything you found interesting in this video again, all my live streams are to be found on my channel the following day. So if you want to replay that video, you'll be able to find it sometime tomorrow. Okay. Finite Abyss, have a great weekend. See you next time. Kevin, yes, I will keep coming back. Spiraxis, thank you, Didi. Much love. Guys, I love you. Take care. I wish you a fantastic day or night, whatever that you are doing, wherever you are in the world. Love you all and be kind to yourself. Thank you. Bye now.